Be me, 24, living in a 3-bedroom apartment in Chicago. Rent is high, windows are drafty, vibes are usually decent. Live with my boyfriend, Liam. Liam is 26, has that effortless gym bro aesthetic. He takes care of himself. He keeps to himself mostly. We also have a roommate, Chloe. Chloe is 24, works in marketing. Obsessed with her aesthetic. Everything she owns is beige or cream or oatmeal. She's the type to buy a pricey oat milk latte, then complain about being broke. She's been dating Scott for 3 years. Scott is an accountant. He wears polo shirts that are slightly too big. He's safe, reliable, and about as exciting as unbuttered toast. He's currently in Europe for a 3-month work assignment. Left right after New Year's. The goodbye was painful to watch. Chloe clinging to him in the hallway while he checked his watch. He was worried about TSA. The apartment immediately felt different, quieter, sadder. Chloe spent the first week moping around in oversized hoodies. She listened to sad indie pop on a loop. She left half-drunk mugs of tea on every available surface. I'm usually a decent friend. I listen to the venting. I nod at the appropriate times, but there's a side of me that likes a little chaos. I've always been the friend who suggests bad ideas. I'm the one who says, send the text, when you probably shouldn't. I call it facilitating growth. My therapist probably has a different name for it. Anyway, Chloe is lonely. Visibly, painfully lonely. She's craving validation and company. One Tuesday night, she comes into the living room. She's wearing sweatpants that say juicy on the butt. Ironic, I think. Her eyes are red from crying after a FaceTime with Scott. I'm on the couch with Liam watching a terrible reality show about island dating. Liam has his arm around me. He is rubbing my shoulder casually. Nothing romantic, just comfortable. Chloe sighs loudly. It's the kind of sigh that demands a follow-up question. I mute the TV. Everything okay, Chloe? She flops into the armchair like a dramatic Victorian widow. Scott is just ellipsis, so distant, she says. He was talking about the audit, I say. I feel like I'm dating a spreadsheet, she replies. Liam suppresses a smirk. He's never liked Scott. He calls him the human equivalent of a damp napkin in private. I decide to be kind. Come sit with us, I say, patting the empty spot on the sofa. Don't sit over there in the gloom. We have wine. Wine is a cheap Pinot Grigio that does the trick for the mood. Chloe hesitates, then shuffles over and sits on the other side of me. I'm the buffer between her and Liam. We pour her a glass and start watching the show again. The vibe has shifted. It's not just me and Liam anymore. It's a trio. Over the next few weeks, this becomes routine. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday nights. We order Chinese food. We have wine. We roast the people on TV. I start noticing little things. Chloe pays close attention to Liam's stories. She laughs a bit more at his jokes. She's not doing this on purpose. I don't think she's just hungry for male attention. She's lonely and responsive to warmth. Liam knows he's pleasant to be around. He enjoys company. He's not malicious. He just likes attention, like some people like caffeine. One night, we're eating pizza. Liam is wearing a gray t-shirt that fits him well. Chloe glances at him and blushes. She looks away quickly. Most girlfriends would be jealous. Most would feel territorial. But I don't feel that. I feel curious. A little thrill at seeing the dynamic shift. What happens if I push this? What happens if I open a door crack? Later that night, Chloe and I are in the kitchen while Liam showers. Chloe is rinsing a plate. She is staring out the window at the rain. Liam is really great, she says softly. You guys have such good chemistry. Scott and I. Ellipsis. We never really had that spark, she adds. It was always just ellipsis logical. I lean against the counter. I'm swirling my wine. Yeah, Liam is intense, I say. He makes you feel like the only person in the room. It's addictive, she says, miserable. Scott makes me feel like a checklist item, she explains. Task completed. Girlfriend interaction. I just miss feeling ellipsis wanted, she says, looking small. I nod sympathetically. Everyone deserves to feel noticed, Chloe. Especially you. Scott is an idiot for leaving you alone for 3 months, I say. I'm leaning into consolation, not seduction. If I were him, I'd be worried someone else would snatch you up. I lie to boost her confidence. It's petty, but harmless. She lights up at the thought. He did? What did he say? She asks about Liam noticing her green dress. Just that you looked really nice, I say. Liam walks into the kitchen fresh from the shower. He has a towel around his waist as he hurriedly gets dressed. Steam follows him like a cloud. Nothing flirtatious, just casual apartment life. Hey ladies, he grins. More wine? Chloe is startled, a little breathless from the moment, not from desire but from the sudden attention of the group. I decide to nudge the situation, not to create sex, but to see how far the social lines bend. Chloe was just saying how much she misses having a guy around, I say casually. Scott's been a bit distant. Liam frowns, annoyed on her behalf. That guy is a tool, he says. He walks to the fridge. He leans past Chloe in a purely physical sense that happens in cramped apartments. He grabs a beer and gives Chloe a friendly wink. It's a reflex he uses with everyone, harmless in intent but easily misread in vulnerability. Fast forward 2 weeks and the dynamic has shifted. Chloe is more engaged in our hangouts. She sometimes leans into the group more than usual. We do another movie night. This time I set the stage carefully. Dim lights for the ambiance. 3 bottles of wine for the group. A thrilling movie with tension and jump scares. I sit in the middle initially, then get up to use the bathroom. When I come back, I sit in an armchair. I leave them on the sofa together, with a foot of space between them. Come on, sit here, Liam says, patting the middle cushion. Plenty of room, I say. I like the chair. My back hurts. Another small lie. I want the view so I can watch the social experiment. Chloe looks nervous. She keeps glancing at me, seeking permission or judgment. I smile and sip my wine. Hit play, I say. 10 minutes in, Liam shifts and casually spreads his arm along the back of the sofa. He is not touching her. He is creating a warm, shared space that makes Chloe relax. 20 minutes in, she leans back, and her shoulder brushes his chest. He shifts closer to offer a blanket, a neighborly gesture. His hand rests on her shoulder to tuck the throw around her. It's a simple comfort motion. Chloe exhales a long, shaky breath. It's relief, not eroticized. It's the sound of someone finally letting down their guard. I text my friend Jessica. It's happening. She's opening up. She replies, "You are evil. Tell me more." I put my phone down. I'm bored if nothing changes. But I don't want harm, just chaos at the margins. I decide to push it a little, not towards sex. I want to force a vulnerability check. Liam, I say, interrupting the movie. Show Chloe that thing you learned at the gym. The shoulder stretch. She said her neck was stiff earlier. I add, she hadn't. But the suggestion opens a door. Liam pauses, reads the room, then says calmly, "Turn around, Chloe. Let me see if I can help." His voice is lower, not predatory, just patient and practical. Chloe hesitates. Are you sure? I don't want to impose. Don't be silly, I say. We're friends. Someone has to look out for you while Scott's away. The reminder of Scott's absence makes her accept the help. She turns around on the sofa, presenting her back so Liam can demonstrate a simple stretch, nothing intimate, just a practical technique for neck tension. Liam's hands go to her shoulders to guide the stretch. His touch is firm and efficient from his gym training. He shows the positions and pressure points for relief. Chloe lets out a long exhale. Oh my God, that helps, she breathes. It's relief, not lust. He works his way down, teaching her a series of stretches and posture adjustments. Thumbs press into knots, guiding movement. It's like a physical therapy demonstration rather than a massage. You're tight, he observes. You should stretch more. He leans in to correct posture and whispers functional tips about ergonomics and phone posture. Purely practical instruction. I watch from the armchair, sipping my wine. I feel like a director watching a scene of emotional change, not sexual content. It's about vulnerability and care. Chloe's head rolls back. Her eyes close as she focuses on the relief from tension. She forgets the audit in the drafty windows for a moment. I clear my throat. You guys want another bottle? They jump apart like people who were startled by a creak in an old house. No guilty energy. It's just the startle of being called out of an intimate but non-sexual moment. Chloe's face is bright red with embarrassment. Her hair is a little mussed from the stretch. Liam looks unfazed. Yeah, pop the red, he says. I get up to open the third bottle. I hear them whispering softly in the living room, talking about the stretches and posture tips, not about more intimate things. Sorry, Chloe says. Don't be, Liam replies. That helped. We clink glasses to friendship. She echoes to friendship. It's awkward, but warm. We finish the movie, but nobody is really watching the screen. The air in the room is thick with a complicated mix of relief, embarrassment, and shame. It's not anything sexual. The stretch and the attention embolden Chloe. She laughs louder at his jokes. She touches his knee once in a friendly, accidental motion when she laughs too hard. It's the kind of contact that happens when people get comfortable, not a deliberate seduction. You're so funny. Liam, she says. I never realized how funny you are. Scott never makes me laugh like this, she says. She is comparing emotional availability, not attractiveness. I get annoyed when she keeps saying Scott's name and snap. Forget about Scott. He's in Brussels. We are here, I say bluntly. Chloe looks at me, eyes glassy. You're right, she says. I need to stop thinking about him. I need to live in the moment. She leans on self-help language, manifesting joy. She calls it honoring her needs to justify choices that are messy but not salacious. She places a hand on Liam's knee in a gesture meant to steady herself. It's a quick, impulsive comfort touch. Liam checks me with a raised eyebrow, asking permission with his eyes. I give a tiny nod, more a signal to chill than an invitation to escalate anything. Liam leans in to whisper something supportive. I don't hear it clearly. Chloe shivers with emotion, biting her lip as if overwhelmed by attention. Her eyes are wet with a fragile mix of relief and confusion. Not lust, just a human reaction to feeling seen. I need to use the bathroom, Chloe announces suddenly, standing and swaying slightly. Me too, Liam says, standing up with her and offering to show her where the extra towels are. She's shaky from the wine and the emotional release. They walk down the hall together. I stay on the armchair swirling the last dregs of my wine. I listen to the distant sound of the bathroom running. It's just the tap and the sound of someone splashing water on their face to steady themselves. There is muffled conversation about breathing techniques and whether a cold wash helps calm nerves. Most people would be upset in this situation. Most would confront or cry. I mostly feel satisfied in a cold, observational way, like I predicted how the social pressure would shift and watched it happen. The water runs for 20 minutes, while Chloe calms herself, and Liam offers practical advice about breathing and posture. I calculate the water bill in my head because that's the kind of petty thing I do to make sense of drama. Eventually, the water stops. Silence returns. The door opens and they walk back into the living room. Chloe looks wrecked, hair damp around her hairline from splashing water on her face. Lipstick smudged from rubbing at her eyes. Shirt buttoned slightly wrong from fidgeting. She won't look at me. She is staring at the floor with a mix of shame and adrenaline. Liam looks amused in a bemused roommate way. He is like someone who got pulled into an emotional moment he didn't expect. He goes to the fridge and grabs a bottle of water and drinks it. Normal apartment life. Good movie, he says to the room, ignoring the fact the credits rolled 15 minutes ago. Chloe mumbles. She's tired. I think I'm gonna crash. Long day tomorrow. Big meeting. She practically runs to her room, slamming the door and turning the lock because she needs alone time to process. Liam comes to the armchair and leans down to kiss me on the forehead. He whispers affectionately. It's a quick, domestic gesture of affection, not a sexual moment. I know, I say. Did she talk about Scott? He laughs. She said, Scott never listens to me while we were in there. Mid-situation, he adds with a grin. Unbelievable. I shake my head. She's the victim in her own head. I say, even when she's doing this. Liam stretches on the sofa. So what happens now? He asks. Now we wait, I say. Scott comes back in April. That's 2 months away. 2 months of secrets. 2 months of her trying to act normal while living in the scene of the incident. It's going to be excruciating for her. And kind of entertaining for me. I pour the last drop of wine into my glass. Mostly sediment, bitter and gritty, perfect for my mood. The next morning is a masterclass in awkwardness. I'm in the kitchen making coffee when Chloe comes out wearing sunglasses indoors. Her hoodie is up and she is avoiding eye contact. Morning, I say cheerfully. Coffee? She flinches. Yeah, thanks. She leans against the counter fidgeting. About last night, she starts. What about it? I ask, playing dumb. Fun night. Right? That movie was crazy. She looks at me searching for signs of anger or a trap. I give nothing but bland positivity. Yeah. Fun, she says. I got pretty drunk. Don't really remember much of the end, she adds, rewriting history already. Oh, you just went to bed early, I say. Liam and I finish the wine. I'm offering an out. An alibi on a silver platter. Confrontation would let her purge guilt. Sometimes it's crueler to let someone sit with uncertainty. She takes the coffee, hands shaking slightly. Right, bed early. Must have been the wine. I think I'm allergic to sulfates. There it is, the medical excuse, the victimhood pivot. Probably, I agree, you should be careful with that. Liam walks in shirtless, scratching his stomach. Morning roomy. He grins at Chloe, and she goes pale and flees back to her room. Liam winks at me, and I sip my coffee black, no sugar. I think about Scott in Brussels, probably eating a waffle right now. He is thinking his girlfriend is at home waiting for him. He thinks their relationship is secure. He has no idea he's teased the edges of something messy while away. I should feel bad morally, I know I should. I've violated the roommate code and basic decency a bit by pushing dynamics. But mostly, I feel curious, like an anthropologist watching how people behave under emotional pressure. I want to see how long she can keep it together. Once someone crosses emotional boundaries, it's easier to cross again and again. I have a front row seat. I pick up my phone, open the group chat with Chloe and Scott, mostly dead, and type, "Miss you, Scott. Apartment isn't the same without you." Then send. I'm stirring the pot, petty and deliberate, not looking for sex but for reaction. Chloe's phone buzzes in the other room. I hear a muffled groan. She's reacting emotionally, not physically. Chaos is a ladder, and I'm climbing it in pajamas. Stirring the pot is my art form, and this little tableau is just getting started. Door slams as Chloe leaves for work without saying bye. Liam asks if we have any eggs. Life goes on. The air in the apartment has changed forever. It smells like secrets and cheap Pinot Grigio. I love it here.